Hi, I'm Susie Garden, and this is the Ageless and Awesome podcast. I'm an age-defying naturopath and clinical nutritionist, and I'm here to bust myths around women's health and aging so that you can be ageless and awesome in your 40s, 50s, and beyond. The Ageless and Awesome podcast is dedicated to helping women through perimenopause and menopause with great health, a positive mindset, and outrageous confidence. Hit subscribe or follow now, and let's get started. Hello, gorgeous one, and welcome to this week's episode of the Ageless and Awesome podcast. How are you feeling? It's the day after Christmas, and I'm gonna kind of make some guesses here, some educated guesses based on conversations that I've had with many people in my life and clients. Maybe you're feeling bloated after Christmas. Have you had a massive kind of feed-a-thon? Are you feeling a bit sluggish? Are you even feeling a little regretful for why did I do it? Why did I eat all the bread? Why did I have 2 servings of pudding? Whatever it might be. You know what? It's all good. It's all good. Let's talk about how to recover from Christmas so that you start feeling good as quickly as possible. And I'm going to start with mindset, which you might think, oh, that's a weird kind of place for a nutritionist to start. But mindset is really important when it comes to kind of looking after your body, you know, making choices that are really good for your body. And one of the first things that I kind of like to think about when it comes to getting back on a bandwagon, if as it were, or getting, you know, yourself back on track with making healthy choices for your body and your mind, is to just love and respect yourself. And you might think, of course I do, but I challenge you to stand in front of the mirror, grounding both feet, looking yourself in the eye, putting your hand on your heart, and saying 3 times, you know, I love and respect myself. Try and say that 3 times. And if you have any trouble doing it, like many people will cry when they try this little exercise. But if that's you, I really recommend doing this twice a day and noticing how it makes you feel when you finish it. Because when we do love and respect ourselves, our bodies, then we're going to make better choices when it comes to food and movement and who we're spending time with and all of those sorts of things. Because we know, of course, that sometimes, in fact, many times, how we approach food can very much be a reflection of how we're feeling about ourselves, how we are interacting with some of the people around us, and especially Christmas, we know often we're seeing family that we haven't seen for a long time. Sometimes hurtful comments are made. Sometimes people haven't responded to you, perhaps friends that you would have expected to. There's a whole bunch of emotions that go on at this time of year, and I'm totally conscious of that, and particularly how that impacts people's choices when it comes to food. So mindset is my number 1. But also, of course, there's going to be a whole bunch of things you can do on a physical level to help you feel better and recover from Christmas more quickly. So obviously hydration, let's just get that out of the way. And if you think 1.5 liters is a good amount of water, I want you to take a calculator out, 35 mils per kilo of body weight. That's how much you should be drinking. And maybe even more if you're in a hot part of the country. Greens juice. I talked about this in the podcast last Thursday, I think it was. So greens juice, ideally make it yourself. If you're going down to a juice bar and they're going to make it for you, you don't want too much sweet stuff in it. because that's just going to be a big sugar bomb. You want lots of greens, lots of kale, lots of silver beet, things that are really good for your liver. And I listed a whole bunch of those last Thursday's podcast, so go and have a listen to that one if you're not quite sure what to put in your greens juice. Green salad. If you don't have a juicer and don't have access to getting a juice like that, then a big green salad with, again, silver beet, spinach, kale, I would say. Now, a lot of people go, oh, kale. But if you do kale well, and you may not have ever had kale done well, I learned, and I love this technique, you get your kale and rip it all up. Make sure you don't have any stems. The stems are awful. You can juice the stems, but yeah, just the leaves. Pour on some lovely oil, like some olive oil or some flaxseed oil, and some lemon juice or some apple cider vinegar, and maybe a bit of salt, and just get your hands in there and massage the kale. Massage, and the leaves will go beautifully soft and glossy. It'll shrink down quite a bit, so make sure you've got quite a lot of leaves in there. And it feels really nice to put that all through your hands, and oils up all of your cuticles, and it's lovely. So you use that as your base, and like I'll often throw in like some cooked quinoa, some roasted veggies. Leftover roast veggies are great, particularly at Christmas. If you've got that sort of stuff around, you want to get rid of your leftovers and you want to make it as healthy as you can. You can mix that into your green salad, throwing some herbs in there. Some pumpkin seeds in there are also really great, or some pine nuts, just stuff like that to give it a bit of a crunch. So just making something super simple like that can be fabulous and make you feel really good. Obviously putting some protein in there as well. Again, it's great for leftovers. If you're plant-based, I just normally rinse off a tin of lentils and throw that in. That works really well, really nice texture. So yeah, awesome. Chickpeas would work really well also. So yeah, making yourself a nice big green salad makes you feel very virtuous, as well as the physical effects of just eating something lovely and light and that's going to really nourish your liver. You do feel quite virtuous when you revert to a bit of healthy eating the day after Christmas. The other big thing is movement. Because often we'll just be either in the car traveling from one family to another family, or we'll be sitting around eating and drinking all day. And so walking, having a bit of a dance, swimming because it's nice and hot, going to, a yoga class, Pilates, gym, you know these things. So getting some movement into it. If you're someone that has some mobility issues, even small amounts of movement will help. If you're someone that's, you're not, you've got an injury or you've got other issues, it means walking isn't great for you, then even just moving your arms up and down above your head, maybe giving the spine a nice, slow, gentle twist. Things like that are really lovely for just getting that circulation going and making you feel like you're doing something good for your body, and it grounds you and brings you into your body so that, it's helpful for stress, it's helpful for anxiety, many, many things. And often people are feeling a bit like that after Christmas. Doing some deep breathing into the belly. So yes, there are techniques. You can Google belly breathing. That will give you some good technique, but essentially just a nice deep breath into the belly, nice and slow, a few deep breaths in and out, relaxing the shoulders and relaxing your jaw, and just really following all of the sensation in the body as the breath enters through the nose and leaves through the nose. Just doing that in and out, maybe spending a minute, 2 minutes. It's not a long time, but it really helps on a number of levels. The lungs are an organ of detoxification. We want to make sure that by doing our deep breathing, it does help, again, to relax our nervous system. It also obviously will energize us with all of that beautiful fresh oxygen, and it helps get rid of our waste products. So yeah, many awesome benefits from deep breathing. And I'm just about to read an article. I'm very excited to read it. I haven't read it yet, about what happens in weight loss. Where does the fat go? And from the very small amount I've read of this article, and maybe that's what I'll do my next podcast on actually. Yeah, from what I've read, it seems that when we break down fat, a lot of it comes out through the breath. So I don't understand yet what that means, but I'm going to look into that. And yeah, I think I'm going to do next week's podcast on that. So that'll be pretty cool, actually. The other thing, obviously, supporting our gut health and our bowel movements. Again, if we're sitting around, if we're eating a lot of kind of unusual food, when I say unusual, food that you're not normally eating, or lots of sugar, lots of alcohol, lots of cheese, you may find that your gut's not fantastic. So having some good fiber in your diet with just fruits, veggies, things like that in the days following will really help to get those bowels moving properly, again, to detoxify your body really well. My last tip, because I'm making this a short podcast, this is the thing when you work for yourself, you just kind of have to, when you have to have a break, have to kind of shove a couple of weeks worth of work into 1 week. So hence this week, there won't be another podcast on Thursday. There will just be next Tuesday, and then I'll be back to normal programming. But yeah, the last tip I'm going to give you is look at the sugar around you after the day after Christmas. You may have a lot of leftover sugary treats. You may have received gifts that are sugary treats, and they may not even be things that you particularly like. Like my husband came home yesterday with a big bag of lollies, which was like, the old school lollies, like Redskins and fake teeth and all that sort of stuff, Minties, etc. All stuff that, my God, I haven't had in years and I really don't want it. And I know if I had it, I'd feel absolutely disgusting. And he even looked at it and went, I really don't want this. So he's actually going to take it back to work today to give it to somebody else with kids that might want it. But I would just say, don't force yourself to eat this stuff. Give it away or throw it in the bin. You don't have to eat this stuff just because it's there. Don't treat your body like a garbage can, essentially. And if you've got leftovers that are things like you're like, I don't really want to eat this, it's not good for me, I'm going to feel like rubbish, then chuck it in the bin. I reckon that's all I've got for you today. So I hope you did enjoy yourself. If you did not, take time to reset and really get yourself back into a good mindset and start eating well and treating your body well. And if you're thinking, you know what, I really want to do that on a bigger level in 2024, I'm not at work this week, but please book in for your pre-screening call. Just go to my website, susiegarden.com, and go to the page, the Glow Protocol, and book in your pre-screening call, or go to Instagram at Susie Garden Wellness. You can book at my link in bio, or actually I will put the link in the show notes. Actually, it will be in the show notes. So have a look there and just have a chat. There's no obligation. Just have a chat. Let me know what you need and I'll let you know if I can help you. All right, enjoy the rest of your week and I'll be back next Tuesday. Thanks so much for joining me today on the Ageless and Awesome podcast. If you liked today's episode, please make sure you click the little plus button if you're on Apple Podcasts or the follow button if you're on Spotify so that you can get each new episode delivered to you every single week. If you like free stuff, and who doesn't, then head over to susiegarden.com and grab my 8 essential age-defying secrets every woman over 40 should know right now. Or if you'd like to continue the discussion, head over to Instagram and DM me at Susie Garden Wellness. I'd love to connect with you.